Sorry, say again.
Vad är det?
Ja.
Jag vet inte. Nej, vad är det du vill? Ja, Pettenis. Ja.
Wait, hello?
Nej, på 100% nu.
No.
Ja. Nej då. Jag har redan packat. Nej. Nej då.
Oh, this is my event horse. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. Let me just pop over there. The quiet room. Oh, what am I supposed to do though? Okay, you know what? Let's go to options. Settings. I'm assuming under display. Objective text. Dynamic. Okay. Go to McFarlane's Ranch. Oh, I can do that. Ah. And they are angry. Oh yeah, I can just murder everyone. I remember that's a thing. So let's take the... This is just a rancher. Have my arrow back, please. Thank you. let's just get you out of sight. Okay. Close the door. Okay, psychic powers activated. Yes. Oops. Oh, I didn't see that. Ow. Oh. Oh. So rusted. I don't even know why they just suddenly saw me. Yes. That's a Arabian. How does this work again? That's so funny. I forgot everything. Settings. I have to steal the horse, so I can go back to, sorry, yes. Objective text, off. Howdy. Entrance is going to be pretty damn obvious. What to use, what to use. Yeah, I do like the Larry. No, can't clean it. Psychics, everyone. They're just such psychics. Oh, got him. Ow. Ooh, headshot. You guys gonna have to wait. Okay, okay, I'm back. Why is everyone shooting me? Oh, yeah. there's my horse, I think. Ooh. Ooh. What a miss, what a miss. Okay. Yeah, sure. Oh. How do I do this again? Okay, I have to kill them because I can remember how to do that. Where is this guy? Oh, what am I doing? Okay, let's try again. Left. Okay, counter steer the direction. Or do I lean the direction? Or pressing calm? I have to turn with him. Then I have to calm him as he turns. Shh, calm down. So if he turns right, I turn right. There we go. Boing. There. Oh wow. Boom. Oh fuck, go, just go. Drink. Replay mission, is this? Everyone just pinpoints a location. Well, hello there. Sorry, it's quite noisy. I can hear you now.
I remember talking to you about Sea of Thieves.
Yes.
Playing with Pony, right?
Yes.
Do you happen to have the game?
I happen to believe, I think, maybe I do, and think I do.
Right? Do you happen to have the game perhaps installed?
No, not at the moment. I had it and I had to make space for it. You need help or what? Want to go sail the seven seas? Yeah, no, unfortunately not. Also, what time's it? 10 o'clock. I only have about an hour. Oh. quite funny. When my kids were like babies, and I was trying to think of songs to hum. The songs that worked the best was the Sea of Thieves tunes. You're like just going through the soundtrack in your head.
No, it's just the loading screen music. It's not even the title screen. It's the loading screen.
Oh. Da-dun-dun-dun-dun. Captain's Adventure Unload Tide. The Spooky Selects. Spooky selects.
Basically anything that has to do with like Christmas, Halloween.
Yeah.
Except we have Call of the Bells. For the sole reason that it's more relevant. Like we don't have deck numbers. For Bosenville Holiday Show. We got 58 songs. That's 3 hours and 59 minutes long. And my Overwatch refuses to play songs.
Yeah, but you play Overwatch regularly, so why do you want to install that?
I do?
Don't you usually play with Pony?
No. I play Sea of Thieves more than Tony.
Ah. Yeah, see, if I... If I...
Oh, it is a that moves up. What's the freaking big game on here?
Red Dead or GTA, those are pretty big. If you got Warzone on there, that's pretty big.
I have Doom on my.
Doom Eternal. Oh, there's a soundtrack.
I have MCC on this. I'm gonna try some Sea of Thieves.
Let me just open up Steam. Let me have a look, just to be 100% sure.
No, we don't want to check to see if the game was corrupted. Silence Sea of Thieves. Give me the game. I know that you work. I just force quit you through Steam and you complain it.
Oh, I do have Sea of Thieves. It just needs to be updated. Sorry, I would just like to correct myself. Are you there? Sorry, I mean, yeah. Cool, cool.
I'm at home. I'm in work clothes. I'm getting out of work clothes and putting clothes on. I can game in and be comfortable and not choked by my freaking tall. There. Culture. This thing stays on. Bum, bum. Hold on. I think you would like the playlist. Hold on, I'm gonna send it to you. Pop up.
Ugh.
What?
Modder.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, there is a song on there that doesn't need to be on there. Which is the last one, which is just an hour of sea sound. Sea of Thieves ambience.
Ambiance.
Ambiance. Ding, 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 ding. Why do I have to pay 3,000 damages? that. Also, the Throngler.
Wait, what?
The Throngler. No! 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. No. Tomorrow. Bruh. It's off when I get on.
What are you talking about?
We're gonna have another update tomorrow. Because Monkey Island comes out.
Oh, Sea of Thieves.
The Sea of Thieves server.
There's a Monkey Island coming on Sea of Thieves.
Yep, Monkey Island, the Sea of Thieves.
What?
Sea of Thieves servers will be offline.
Yeah, I'd love like.
2023, just 9, Thursday, 2023. For me, that's my time. That's an ES. That's an UTC. No,
Yeah.
it's an UTC.
It's basically this time of night, isn't it?
No. That's at 5 in the morning.
Oh.
So you're back around, eh? Looking for work? You're quite the help to me, you know that? Some Martelli work, then. Martelli thinks his reach is so long, all the way out here. But the only reach out here belongs to me. No matter how hard we work, some folks always there above the law. Which is to say, some folks are above me. Now, folks in question are going to go for higher outfit. They believe their skill and strength of arms they have no need of respect. Find their payroll wagon. You'll need to schedule someone. Word is they're holding Capitale, too. It's all fair game. Enjoy.
Souls of the dead to the base of my mind.
Sorry, did you send me the playlist?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'll listen to it at work tomorrow.
to my sock server.
To your what server?
To my Sea of Thieves server.
Oh, do you have your own server?
I just invite people that I play with here. I've got a lot of people I haven't
Wait.
invited. Like that I.
Is it like a server I can join in the future, or
Yeah.
wait, you just online now? Wait, you're welcome to send it. Sorry, I'm not.
I mean, I sent it to you. You could join or not.
All right, I'm gonna. I'm. I'm not gonna be on for long. So, and Sea of Thieves is one of those. It needs a bit of time.
I'm gonna go pop in there. Because they're trying to drag me in.
Wait, so with your server, can any like, is it like a private server that? Or,
Yeah, it's not a public server. It's just I invite people.
I didn't know you could do that.
I'm getting. I'm gonna put text all your join. I'm being incessantly spammed.
I don't know if you heard earlier. I do have the game. It just needs to be updated. But all right, no problem. I'll see you in the future.
Get around the door recently.
Yes. Oh. Alrighty. Oh, palace horse. Where's your rider? Okay. Alright, so if you leave them, they actually move along. No, hell. Aha, that's okay. So used to GTA. Huh. Just follow the train track. Excuse me. You choose to look like that. What the hell does that mean? Ooh. Legendary. Come on, where are you? Almond, sedative. Yeah, cutscene, okay. Doesn't matter what I do. Oop. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna climb a rock. So that's one that chased me, right? Yes.
How you doing, Ray?
Hey, find yourself?
Can't complain. I am very stuck in my friendly neighborhood again. Not as confused as I used to be, but it's still an adventure.
You'll have to give more context.
Oh yeah, so I had to do this, all this stuff in the basement after going through that thing with that bird. Turns out that the bird isn't actually aggressive, it's just looking for its glasses that have got its eyes on it. And when you get it to them...
Oh, sorry, you speaking about that game. I was so confused now.
My neighborhood is apathetic. I wouldn't have said it was unfriendly or friendly. It just
My neighborhood.
happens to exist in some fashion.
Okay. Yeah, I remember, because it didn't charge you or anything. It was just like sticking its head inside windows and...
Yeah, pretty much. It's it was looking for its eyes. They there was this very unfortunate thing where one of the puppets, the one wearing the letter jacket, it's one of them ran towards me when I was in this basement picking up part of a machine, and when I shot it, it exploded into 8 more that all started chasing me.
Like same size or like a reduced size?
No. It was a bug that they found that they thought was too funny to not replicate, so I kept falling for this problem with the saving system where you lose every bit of progress you've made since the last save, because I kept trying to do it because it was that funny.
So it also doesn't always happen. How long have you been playing the game?
So far I've been playing for about 4 hours, and I've been playing for nearly 2, or just over 2. I was streaming it for some other people.
You'll see 2 trees I've never noticed in an area I didn't know there was trees. Ugh, me and the small things.
I wanted to ask about this thing that you brought up before.
Mm.
Mine's hasn't necessarily changed because even if I wanted to do it, I can't really think of anything interesting to say. So,
You say that, you
How?
basically just go with a conversation that was... 'Cause the reason, like, you brought it upon yourself because you've got interesting opinions on subjects and it isn't standard, so that's where... Yeah. That's why I thought.
Yeah, it's what I wanted to ask was what the impetus was for it. Why you wanted to do this.
Fight depression.
Well,
No,
no
so
reason as any.
I heard a line and it just resonated with me. It was Jordan Peterson that said it. It's like, if a creative person does not create, they die. And it just like rang with so true to me. Because like what I do with my work, I've got a small web development business, and since I've become like a business owner, I don't do any designs or any of those things myself. All that gets, got designers for those type of things. And you get this odd sensation of just drudging forward. And then I tried like making a random YouTube video, and just the feeling after just putting it out there, just creating something, put it there, it just gave me some like new vigor. Not that I'm a depressed person or anything, don't get me wrong. So I just want to do that. So I just want to create videos. So basically what I do is I just stream. I've got like no one watching the streams or anything, because I don't have hard drives to like record and save everything. So I just use YouTube streaming to store the stuff. So I can, if something cool happens or if I have a good moment, I can then download that content and then edit it into videos. I don't know if you saw, I did a little short story about Etta Doyle. I don't know if you ever saw that.
I didn't know.
Okay, I can send you the link and you can have a look. The next one probably is going to be one Hunter's helping me with. She wrote a poem and she read it, and I just put some music to it, and I just want to get visuals for it now. But I just want to make stuff, you know. There's no master plan or anything. I just want to make. Always wondered about like having like conversations with people, not like a podcast, but like kind of like it. And then I call myself like the nobody, because I'm not a particular individual in anything. I'm just a guy, very open-minded. I'm not easily offended. I can talk about any topic and keep my head on it, you know, without like getting emotion attached to it. And really try seeing the opinions of others. And yeah, the people that know me, I'm quite known for having a different perspective on the situation. So I might not have the answers, I just have a different way of how they can perceive something, and then sometimes they get their own resolution on things. So yeah.
I can think of something that would make a good conversation to record, and that is about this idea that if you don't create, you die, right? I'm not going to go into this because it's, you know, when you've had this conversation twice, it loses the sort of impact that it can have.
Yeah, you don't want
But
to
as
give
some-
everything
yeah.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, but as somebody who creates for a living, yeah, it feels different. It's a very different sort of thing. So when that's another thing as well. So when someone like Peterson says it, people are automatically going to roll their eyes because it's Jordan Peterson, and I get it. You just got to remember that the stop clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
You know.
You're not a...
Find someone else saying the same message is more agreeable.
I'm assuming you're not a fan?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Particular
I find
reason?
a lot of his. I find myself being realistic about people in that people are largely hypocritical.
Absolutely.
And when they try to not necessarily practice what they preach, because there's always some mitigating factor in it, but someone like him who says that he has all of these ideas for how people should be, and then he doesn't live by any of these standards himself, and has some very outdated views on people who are not him, who have a different life experience, one that is worth listening to and taken on its own merits, but he refuses to do so. I find it difficult to want to listen to someone like that. It doesn't mean that I won't, it means that I think, when I hear something that they're saying, I'm more likely to believe that they're not really worth listening to.
That's interesting.
It's an unfortunate implication because, that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody should be written off.
Oh, absolutely. One thing he does that really resonates is he speaks like he's honest towards himself. He knows his shortcomings, and when he has talks, he has a thing of calling on people that would disagree with him, and then he listens.
This is the thing. It's easy to do that in a performative manner, though. I've been subjected to that myself, where someone has pretended to listen to me, but then taken absolutely nothing I've said on board because it's not what they personally want.
No, absolutely. I can even give you a context or a example. I hate debates very, very much.
Yeah, it's a fucking stupid concept.
Because the person you're talking to, his mind's made up. There's nothing you can do that's going to make this guy change his mind. So a debate's only truly worth it if you're having it with someone that, if you're doing it in front of an audience, then it's worth it, Otherwise, it's yeah. But yeah, no, you're not going to convince the guy because everyone's got their biases. But yeah. But there is that danger of throwing out the baby with the bathwater,
Yeah, and a lot of it is because of his own biases, right?
Everyone's biases, yeah.
Yeah. I've had my own biases. Bias it I can have a bias towards people with severe mental health problems because while I'm empathetic, it's difficult for me to. When someone has a personality disorder, for example, that's similar, if not the same, as someone who abused me in the past, I'm going to be very wary about being that person, even though there's nothing to say that they will do the same things just because of its disorder. It's like saying everyone who has a cold is going to spread it. Some people are going to stay off work and get rid of that thing before they go back. But, these biases, they're formed from our own experiences. But the thing with Peterson is a lot of his biases, like, for example, against trans people, it's not actually founded in anything but contempt. And it's contempt that is seemingly emotional or instinctual in nature, which people have all the time. It's a fear of the unknown. But the thing is that trans people are not an unknown. They've not been for decades. We'd be even more familiar with the concept if the Nazis hadn't burned all of that research in the 30s. But they don't ever want to consider that trans people don't mean anyone any harm, by and large. They want the same rights that everyone else deserves to have, because we don't have, regular cis people do not have the rights that they should either. But Peterson won't listen to that.
See, I don't agree with that at all. It's very interesting. But obviously, I've got a completely different opinion because I've watched a lot of his stuff. He's helped me a lot with hard things, Yeah, he feels himself as a, how can I say? What do you call, what's that English word for, not a protester, but someone that's willing to make himself do harm to himself to send out a message so the rest of the world can kind of see that. What do you call that?
Martyr.
Is that a martyr?
Well, a martyr traditionally is somebody who would die for a cause. Who would be whose death or suffering is used to elevate a cause or reinforce a belief.
Yeah.
Another phrase would be a sacrificial lamb.
What am I doing? Yeah, but so it's very, yeah, like this. It's even this is like it's rare having a conversation with someone without getting emotionally attached and then just losing the plot, because when emotion gets like in conversations, there's no logical communication from there. Which, that's why I'm saying once again, you're unique with that more than you think. Or maybe you do know, who knows?
Well, I mean, I've been in places in offices.
That was?
Echo chambers, and while they help for a while, it's not the best thing to be in.
Absolutely.
Few physical communities from people who are leftists and anarchists, and they're good people, but there's also a lot of I don't want to use the phrase purity testing, and that sounds a bit more sinister than it actually is. There's a lot of self-policing of other people and not allowing them to be flawed. And I don't mean like, oh, this person's a racist or something. I don't mean like that. I mean people are able to screw up and not live up to their own standards or the standards of other people, but they're not allowed to recover. This stuff stays in like a ledger to be used for all time against someone should they fuck up again. And I've been abused by people who've done that shit before, and it isn't good. And you know, it's an example I would have is when Hogwarts Legacy came out, and understandably that caused a lot of problems because it's a shit IP from a shit person and a shit game with shit politics. But I had said in one of these places that I knew someone who had it, but who was playing it. But while I do wildly disagree with the concept of paying for it, or even playing it in general, I'd rather everyone I knew just pretended that fucking thing didn't exist. This guy had helped me through so much that when I looked at this situation, and this is tend to be how far leftists, or just political extremists in general, seem to believe, that it's either completely one thing or completely the other. Like when you get put in it, it's like a false dichotomy, right? Like they say to me, it's either my principles or my friend. I'm going to choose my friend because they earn that loyalty. Whereas people who by appeasing, by getting rid of this friend for playing this game like so many others did, that's fleeting. These people are not going to stick by me because the moment I do something wrong, will throw me under the bus.
Oh no, absolutely.
And it's not, if you go on any sort of social media site, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, you're going to find people spinning that idea and turning it into a grift. Peterson does this as well. And it removes the human from the equation and the fact that every single person is screwed up and flawed in some way. And when you're around each other in such a way, under such specific circumstances, like, you live with them, or you're married to them, or you're in some sort of political or professional alliance with them, you're going to bump into these things. You can't exactly switch them off. And if you ignore them, or you pretend that they don't exist, eventually they come back to get you. And, someone's flaws, like, if someone gets real fucking angry, like you said before, if someone gets an emotional attachment to a discussion, it could be the result of something they've experienced, or it could be because it's related to something going on in their life. Like, a lot of people in these spaces are particularly downtrodden. There's someone who wants to leave the US and go somewhere else and get married, but they, as a creative who can't survive on their creativity, which they should be able to, anyone talks about getting rich, that person will be at their neck.
Yeah.
Making a lot of money. That's the kind of person they are. This decision has nothing to do with them, but it's born of frustration with their own circumstances that is unfortunate. It's nothing really to do with the other person because they barely know them. If you're a close personal friend and you get rich, you're probably going to help them, but you owe them nothing, but then you're made to feel like you do, because this person's frustration is leaking out because there's nothing they can do about it. Because
Yes.
things are so bad it's beyond their control. You see that a lot in leftist spaces, and that means that these discussions can get so fraught. And if you don't acknowledge this, you end up with an explosion of anger and any sort of other negative emotion you could think of. And it's annoying. It's a shame that they always end up this way, but it does mean that you couldn't have what you could title this as a sensible discussion about Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, he's-
also who won a discussion about Jordan Peterson, especially in these groups where people are trans, and you're never going to get a balance out of it.
Yeah, but yeah. See, he's been like very misrepresentative. Yeah, no, I remember like, how can I say, like you being used out of context and stuff. It's like, yeah, because he says something and people don't really understand necessarily what he says, and then they make their own narrative of it. But it's the human condition.
Yeah.
And also how he's changed opinions based on when someone like says something. He's like, okay, well, he admits to that. I've never seen anyone do that the way he does it. Because everyone's always trying to like win debates and stuff, where he does not. If someone says something that's true or stuff, he gives them recognition for that. In a sense, I've never seen anyone do that. So obviously he's not perfect, but I cannot think of someone that does it more prevalent than he does. That's why he always likes that thing with clean your room. It's like set your own things in order before trying to fix everything else in the world. That one also helped me a lot with because you get negative about this country. Seeing it, the president does this, the corruption, the BEE and everything. And then what we did is I thought like, you know what? I'm not going to change that. It does not help me getting worked up about this. So what can I change? It's like clean my room. I was like, okay, let's make sure that I've got security at my own house. Got alarm, wall, dogs, electric fencing. Okay, now let's start with the street. And we approached the people in our street and said, listen, we want to start this WhatsApp group. And at least one person of each house. If anything happens to anyone, they put it on this group and everyone in the street just react, come out or whatever. And we started this street group, and the street opposite us started doing the same thing. They have their street group, and it started becoming up to the sense where the police in our area, they started assigning police officers to each of the street groups. And I cannot remember when last there was break-ins and stuff, and that's that type of thing. So instead of complaining and saying you want to change this about the world and these legislations, just start with the things you can do in your own life, which was something also where it personally helped me.
Yeah,
No.
it seems.
So, sorry, this kind of ties in with politics. So you'll notice always in the rules, we can't speak about politics in the group. And I've seen it firsthand, how quickly people get aggressive. So, especially with Americans, they've got the Democrats and the Republicans and Democrats. The moment someone says, I voted for Republicans, I voted for Donald Trump, then everyone any negative association they have with that entire group, they connect to that individual, and instantly he's villainized, and all logic conversation goes out the window. So this guy doesn't hate trans, he doesn't do this, he's just like he prefers Donald Trump over Biden. And then instantly they connect everything bad with that. That's the problem with politics. It's a very, very, very complex system that gets oversimplified to this side or that side. I mean, you cannot more simplify it. So obviously there's going to be misrepresentation in every single aisle.
Yeah.
So that's...
One of my closest friends is a conservative who voted for Trump. She's religious and everything, but she's also one of the most wonderful people I've ever known. And, if circumstances were different, moved over there, and, she hadn't met her now husband, and I was more conservative and religious, we probably would have gone together. but there's something, you know, we talked about a lot of these things where she would sort of playfully rib on my own political leanings, like I am an anarchist, you know, and she would think this stuff is
I
funny.
used to be. But yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have said I was a full anarchist, but like a soft anarchist. Like, I like the ideas, but like I said this morning, there's not that much of an alternative. When you've removed this system, you need to make sure that everything is still secure and everything's still running, and there's not necessarily a guarantee that it will. So there's a big sort of thing, like you say, there needs to be incremental change on the part of people helping each other, and it's a lovely thought, and I've seen it happen. I've seen in spaces I mentioned that happens all the time, and the person I used to live with, they're very much all about that as well. But it's something on an institutional level that's very hard to do. And the thing is if you frame it as just helping other people, and you don't frame it as being a political, like as having a political reason, you'd be surprised how many people, regardless of what side of a political fence they're sat on, will agree with it.
Here we are.
Yeah.
My friend Amanda, she doesn't like the idea of unions, but after she started working for someone who's particularly prickish when it comes to worker autonomy, etc., she started to understand it. You know, I had been telling her about union action in various industries, especially the games industry, because a lot of people in the US don't seem to believe that the games industry has a union. It does, it has two. They're just more active in the UK and Ireland. Is it the UK and Australia, I think? Because these two countries have actually recognized them formally and made them join their sort of more national network of unions. But when I told her about the things that were happening in the games industry and what people were doing to help alleviate the problems that it was causing, she started to understand it. And then she just applied that framework to her own situations. So, hey, none of this is fair.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you don't say to someone, like, for example, when she was worried about the COVID vaccine, it wasn't because she thought they were 5G microtransmitters or some other bollocks like that. It was literally because they'd been developed too quickly, in her opinion. They seem to just come out of nowhere. When, you know, these things, from even cursory research, you'd see that they take years to develop. But the whole reason why is because this was killing people, and it's actually a bureaucratic delay that stops it any other time.
I love how depth everything can go. So you can literally pick a subject and then just see there's always potential with these things. I like that.
Yeah, you have systems upon systems, and everything impacts each other, and it's difficult to remember, you know, because things can get so fraught, and if you've already got a lot going on in your life, it can be really hard to keep track, and you can start to feel like everything is a chore just for existing, you know. And it takes it out of you, and at that point, you really don't want to dive into the nuances of what makes things tick the way they do, of what causes so many problems, or what people can do about them. You can't be bothered. You don't have the brain space. So that in itself is definitely one of the reasons why people don't want to engage with this stuff anymore. I don't blame anybody who doesn't want to engage with it. I don't think we necessarily have to.
No, absolutely, because we're not going to change anything. This is really just, it's a form of entertainment. Certain people find it entertaining, others don't, but you're not really going to change anything with these subjects.
Yeah.
Not especially our positions. I don't know about you, but I'm not very influential.
No, I wouldn't have said I was. I mean, among my friends, I can be persuasive, but I think there's a difference between like being persuasive or influential, because influencing means that you're not actually trying to change anyone for their own sort of how do we say it?
So what are you hiding down here today?
I don't know. Rue was just in here.
Yeah, there's a new guy. He was at the campfire and I found him tiring, so I just moved down here.
Yeah, don't mince words.
Eh?
Yeah. Did you mean rabbit?
No, not rabbit. I don't know. It's the first time I've ever heard this guy. He's fine, but like half speaks a lot of background noise. And
Shady.
no, not at all. He's polite.
What's his name?
Oh no, no, it's not shady. Sorry, I'll be able to see it. I think it starts with a Z or something. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Give me a second,
it's
damn
literally
it.
Z-E, it's Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Seems fine. It's just. Oh, look, there's the Sea of Thieves.
I'm still organizing my fucking cars.
It never stops, especially
Like I'm
you.
finding cars I have at other places. I'm like, fuck.
I know, and then you rethink of like where they fit in and stuff. That's why I've spent more time driving cars from one garage to another than doing anything else in GTA Online, and I love it. All right, guys, but I'm gonna do the sleepy sleep thing. What?
I always miss you.
Oh, I miss you too. Yeah?
No,
Hashtag.
meaning I always miss your time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is me clicking off.
All right, mate.
So,
Right, see ya.
but like, what time's it by you? No.
3?
5 p.m. for me.
Yeah.
So when it's 3,
on my end.
yeah. So when it's 3 p.m. for you, half past 2, 3 is when I usually come on until your 5 p.m. And then the mornings for an hour as well.
Okay.
Alrighty. But I'll see you guys in the morrow.
All right.
Right. See ya.
Sweet like a lemon, bro.